Hi guys, I'm Betty Fidel. Welcome to my channel. On today's video, we are talking about 5 tips to study abroad with no regret. Some people travel, I want to go and study abroad, and they end up regretting about leaving their country. But you don't want that to be your own case. So let's pay attention to these 5 important tips, which will be well elaborated. It's not just that. No, we go into details in this case. So let's start. Number one on our list is course of study. For any student or anyone that wants to go for education anywhere, even in your own country, you need to know the subject area, the field, the discipline you are going for. Are you a science student? Are you into business? Are you an art student? Are you a technology student? Are you an engineering student? All those things you need to have it at your fingertips, what you are going for. You know, if you want to be, microbiologist, you can go for science. If you want to be an accountant, economist, business, if you want to be, let's say, into the journalism stuff, art. If you want to be a data scientist, information technologist, technology. If you want to be a mechanical engineering, the field to go for. It's very paramount that you know where you're heading to in your education before you even start looking for way to study. The next on our list is your choice of country. For you to apply to a school in any country, you need to do a research on the economy of that country. One thing you should all know is that the way an economy was 2 years ago is not the same way it is this year. The way the policies do change also based on the circumstances they find themselves. The way economy operated before pandemic and after pandemic, there is a very big difference. Like before the pandemic, UK was just being yourself, being smooth with foreign students. But after the pandemic, they noticed that most of those Asian students, especially from China, don't really come to study here, and they needed money because they make money from their education. So they made sure they carried out policies, they implemented policies that would permit foreign students to come in. And foreign students actually came in, paying the school fees and giving them money. But unfortunately, they came with a lot of dependents, which is sucking the economy dry from the, unskilled labor market. So they are trying to restrict, even if you are coming to school and paying your fees, they want to restrict the number of dependents you can come with, but they have not yet implemented that law. So we are still watching out for it. And another factor you should look at is the language in the country you want to apply for studies. Do they speak English like your own country? Do they speak in French like your own country? Or do you need to go and learn their language before you start your studies? You need to consider that. Also, if it is an English speaking country and you're from English speaking country, better for you. If you are from a French speaking country and you're going to France, good for you. But if you need to go and study the language before you study your course, then you need patience, and me, I don't have patience for that. People that have patience can go for that. So it's one of the research you need to make. And also their culture. There's some culture that you don't need to expose your body the way you do back in your country. Are you sure you'll be able to cope with the environmental laws of that country? You should also consider that. Also, in other people's countries, there's some type of meat you can't eat, like there's some culture back in Nigeria, you eat dogs. If you go to another person's country and you kill a dog, it's like you've killed somebody. There's some culture, that you're not supposed to kill cow. You're not supposed to kill, some different types of animals. So you have to keep that at the back of your mind. Another factor you want to look at is suitability of your field to the country you're applying to. So when you want to go to school and if you want to go to school in UK, US, Canada, China, India, have you asked yourself, these countries, are their schools really good in my field of study? If I'm studying science, what am I going to do a particular school of arts to do in that country? If I want to study business, UK can be my base bet, one of my base bets. Even US can be good at it. So if I want to go for technological courses, why shouldn't I go to China? Why shouldn't I go to US? Also, it's not all country that can handle some field. So you don't want to go and study medicine in countries that have no business. In their own system, the medicinal system is just quack. want to go and study medicine and their curriculum is nothing to write home about. No. The last factor when choosing a country for study is the cost of living. So some of us we are coming from countries that the exchange rate is nothing compared to the country you are going to. So if you don't have enough savings to even take you for the 6 or 9 months, you are bound to be depressed when you get there. So you have to consider the cost of living, like in UK compared to Naira in Nigeria. You know, 1 million, 2 million, 3 million can be someone's maybe 1 month salary or 1 year salary back in Nigeria, and then that is what you're even spending in UK as a student, like rent in 1 month. So you should consider all those things. So the cost of living is very important, that you should be able to afford it like your first few months there before you even get a job. So that's that. The next on our list is the school. The choice of schools matters a lot because that is where you'll be best and doing all your academic activities. So where is the school located? Is it in the city? Is it in the village? How is the place? Is it a peaceful city? Is it a violent place? You need to have that at the back of your mind. Also, the ranking of the school. The top 10 ranked school in the world. Some are ranked top 10 in their countries. Also, watch out for that. You need to know these rankings. That's how you choose your schools, and that's how you'll be able to write your personal statement when you're applying to these schools. Suitability to course. Some schools might not be too good for your field. So even if the school might be one of the top ranked schools in their country, maybe they are top ranked because they are good in business, they are good in technology, they are good in that, but they might not be too good in medical courses. So you have to check that out. Also, the school fees. You have to always check the school fees so that you know if you can afford it before you apply to any school. And then while you're checking for the school fees, also watch out for the scholarship opportunities attached to that field in that school. You need to check them out. And also duration of study. When you're talking about duration of study, how long are you supposed to do masters in your country? Is it 2 years? How long are you supposed to do masters in this country? Is it 1 year? Some schools that even have 3 years for masters. But some masters degree, can be up to 2 years based that the field of study comes with internship. Anytime you see any field of study, that you are going for and a school give you with an internship opportunity, go for it. It's always your best bet because you need that experience to be able to be employed after school. So you need to boost your CV with the internship opportunities during studies. So I went for data science. Some schools had data science without internship. Some are with internship. I had to go for the data science with internship. And it was 2 years, not 1 year like the ones without internship. Forget about the years you spend to study this course. But at least that internship will help, groom you for the real world. The next on our list is accommodation. When we are talking about accommodation, we are talking about the cost of, renting an apartment, and also even your transportation costs around the environment matters too. So when we are talking about accommodation, the first factor you should consider is the rent expenses. There are some there are some countries that if you go to school, the cost of paying the rent is even more than what you consume personally. So you need to watch out for it. The lower the rent, the better for you as a student. If you don't really have sponsors and you're the one sponsoring your stuff, you need to look out for that. Housing availability. There are some cities that houses are so scarce that it can take you 3 4 months to even look for one room and find it and be qualified to even rent it. Also, you should look at the transportation cost from your house to the school. And also, if you are living on campus, that is one of the easiest way to save transportation costs. But I can guarantee you that the accommodation on campus is not that cheap. So those are what we need to look at when it comes to accommodation. The last on our tips to study abroad with no regret is job opportunities. So whenever you're applying to any school in any country, you have to look at the probability of you getting employed after studies as a foreigner. Are they welcoming to foreigners? Do they discriminate foreigners? And when employing people, like you need to look out for this because some people can be discriminated based on their name, religion, nationality. You have to look out for that. Also, as a student, when we are talking about employment opportunities, There are some countries that permit you not to work at all as a student. Some permit you to work for a limited number of hours in a week. Some permit you to even work as you like in a week. So you should look at that. Also, as a graduate, are they willing to employ you after you graduate from that country? You should look at it. And also, you are looking for a company that will give you work visa after studies. This is always the ultimate for foreigners that are not permanent residents in the country of study. So you need to make sure that you go for job opportunities that will give you work visa, you know, to make you stay longer. So that's all for today. Thank you for staying with me throughout the beginning to the end of this video. I hope you learned from it. In our next video, we are going to talk about the entry requirements to study abroad. Thank you. Please, guys, subscribe, like, comment on this video. If you have any question, drop it down in the comment section. I'm always available. I'll answer them. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.